Take the show.
Good morning.
Friday.
HOT 9397. Initiating launch sequence.
Here's the good part.
3, 2, 1.
It's Friday. That's when it gets loud. No coat, flip-flops. Oh, love this weather. All right, enough of that. Good morning indeed. It is Friday. Can you believe it? Seems like just 7 days ago, it was Friday. And here we are. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Soup's on, bitches. All right. Today is Friday. Well, we're talking crazy coincidences today. So we got a lot playing. We're also talking about the top. We're not going to go through all 150, but we're going to be talking about the top places to live. And where you live or somewhere around it, is it on the list? So let's make sure we got all of our stuff together. I loaded the proper show in. It's the weekend, so that's a good sign. Volumes look good. I don't have any red lights going on other than the one that's supposed to be there. So we'll see what happens on a Friday morning. Now, we're starting out with a little bit of WTF. First of all, let's say that we thank you for joining us on 9397 Network. Hopefully you are on the 9397 Network app. If not, get there soon. Get there to listen. Get there to check out everything. It's more than just radio. It's mass media nowadays. So the days of radio are over, right? It's not over. It's different. It's completely different. Television, completely different. Live streaming, so many different things, so many avenues to reach people. It's a nice thing, right? All right, well, we're going to reach out and find out what's up with this woman in Kansas with superhuman bowels and an axe to grind at a beauty store. Yeah. And she didn't just spray the 8 wigs. She wrecked them. Oh, man. We got to start in Wichita with they're looking for the poopatrator, as they called it, who defecated in the middle of a beauty store. Now, let me say this. You've impeded a sacred place for the women when you go poop on their hair. I mean, see, we can talk. Now, let's put this into perspective. She could have done a lot worse and caused violence. So a violent bowel movement is better than the alternative that could be. And in America today, we know what that means. Uh-huh. Oh, wait, better turn that down. All right. So you get mad about something. The video, the police would not even release the video footage. It is so disgusting. Well, 8 wigs is probably a good 3 or 4 foot span. How do you splatter it like that? Do you bend over and spread your cheeks and projectile poop, or what is it? What? The police described the defecation quote unquote significant enough to destroy 8 wigs. End quote. They are on the hunt for the suspect they dubbed the poopatrator, who defecated in the middle of the store. They've confirmed the identity, but will not release her name. At least the police have a good sense of humor about it. They've dubbed her public enemy number 2. Caught on surveillance camera going to the bathroom in an aisle of the Mid-K Beauty Supply store on East 21st Street in Wichita. We might as well give them a shout out. One of their employees had to clean that beep up, right? Think about that. Not your child, not your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend that drank too much and defecated on themselves. No, a complete stranger who's pissed off and completely ignorant. But I would love, and I'm not going to do it because I got better things to do with my time, but to put her face out there with a name would be excellent, because the public shaming, there's nothing wrong with public humiliation, right? If I do something so stupid that deserves to be laughed at and everybody point at me and go, look at her, what a dunce. Hey, let it happen. It's what I get. Oh, gosh. I just can't. The thought process is beyond me. 8 wigs destroyed. They said the incident was caught on tape, but the Wichita Police Department said, for the good of all of you, we are not posting the footage of the offending fecal assault. Offending fecal assault. Oh, they've already confirmed it's not Amber Heard, so please stop calling and emailing that information to them. People, we got nothing better to do with our time. Somebody heard these stories, correlated the two, and said, oh, Amber Heard pooped on Johnny's pillow. That's a mad bitch right there. How mad you got to be to go, you know what I want to do? You know the old saying, you don't eat where you poop and you don't poop where you eat? Well, you don't poop on pillows either, right? I don't know if that's a saying, but you don't poop where you sleep, because you got to lay in it, right? Could you imagine? I can't imagine the anger to think, I've never in my life gone, you know what, screw you, give me your pillowcase, I'm loading it up. No, not a pillow. No, not a Halloween candy. I've got to go number 2. To be ballsy enough to drop your drawers and go number 2 in the aisle of a beauty store when you know, unless you're completely numb, you know you're on video. So, WTF, man? Who raised you? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it's Friday. The weekend's right around the corner. One more day of work. Maybe you're halfway through. Maybe you're sitting in France right now going, bitch, it's 2 o'clock almost or something. I don't know. If it's 7 here, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, maybe you're sitting there having a croissant for brunch. I don't know. Is that what every Frenchman does? Everybody, is that offensive? I'm sorry. I shouldn't just assume you like croissants because you're from France. But if you don't like them, you should try them because they're delicious, man. There's something different about it. I know it's still the same. You just roll it up different. It's like a rolled dough instead of a biscuit. It cooks differently. I guess it's a little bit different, but the taste is different. I love a good croissant. A little bit of butter on it. You get the little baby ones for dinner, or you can get the big ones and make sandwiches out of them. I mean, it's genius. French toast, French fries, croissant. Come on. You got to give it to the French for that. Whew. Lordy. Already talking food. Doctor told me I need to go on a diet. I said, I'm on a diet. How do you think I got this way? I eat everything I see. I got to stay away from the junk, but I don't. All right, so I got a question. All of a sudden, what's up with the monkeypox? And what is it? Because now people are going, 17 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Montreal, which, by the way, is our sister country, Canada, Montreal. They're North American, right? We're in this together, although we're different countries. And Canada's going, no, girl, don't put us together like that now. We're cool neighbors, but you keep your distance, right? The 6-foot thing still applies, even though COVID's over. Well, it ain't over. It's getting worse now, but the big, we can intertravel now between here and Canada. Quebec confirms first 2 cases of monkeypox, 20 other suspected cases under investigation. Well, that's a little different than 17 confirmed that the headline read, but hey, we'll go with that. Fuzzy math. We can understand fuzzy math on this show. 2 confirmed cases of monkeypox, 20 suspected. Epidemiological investigations are continuing to determine the links between the related cases, the reported cases, and identify potentially at-risk contacts and inform them of protective measures. So first I go, what the hell is monkeypox? So we've got chicken pox, we got smallpox. I can't imagine what big pox are going to be like. The virus is transmitted by respiratory droplets, and it is not a sexually transmitted disease, even though so far all suspected cases in the Montreal area were among men who had sexual relations with other men. Oh boy. Here comes the, well, that's what you deserve. So is your gonorrhea, buddy. Monkeypox is not a disease that health officials believe will enter a phase of general community transmission. It's not infectious enough for that. Oh, wait a minute, honey, we're coming up on an election year. It's going to be definitely a player. If one person in anywhere around us gets monkeypox, it's on like Donkey Kong. It's not something you can acquire when you go do your grocery shopping or on public transportation. If it's not sexually transmitted and it's not transmitted through being around people, then how the hell am I going to get it? Mainly ulceration of oral and genital parts that are painful, with a phase before the eruption with fever, sweating, and headaches. The eruption. Wait a minute. Let's rewind. Eruption. What's erupting? The clinical presentation. I don't know what that means. I guess symptoms. Ulceration of oral and genital parts. So your balls or your vagina and your lips are going to blister, swell. Then they're going to erupt with fever. Oh, you're going to erupt with fever. Then you're going to sweat and you're going to get a headache. Most cases are not severe, but it can be deadly. Rash is involved. And it'll make your lymph nodes swell. Don't get excited, guys. Those are not down there in that area. Well, maybe they are. I'm not sure. When they check for hernia, are they pushing on your lymph node? Oh, good Lord. What next? You know, the thing is, it's one of those people being blind to things around them. According to, I don't even know who would you describe it as, but according to people, we have many beings and things and energies around us, right? There's so much that goes on around us that our eyes cannot physically pick up. there's so many things our other senses cannot pick up that are going on around us. And they claim this came from the alien UFO story thing. We would not even be able to pick up some things. It's faster than our eyes and brain and mind can register, right? Which we can say that about a lot of things today. Oh, now we've got monkeypox. There's also many, many other things around us we're not aware of yet that we've been living with since birth. I'm not getting spun up about monkeypox because if I get it, we'll try to treat it. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm a little confused how I can get it. We can do the deed, right? It's not sexually transmitted, but the only way we've seen anybody getting it is through sexual contact with their partner. But it's not sexually transmitted, and it's not transmittable through common contact like the flu, the cold, and COVID-19. Okay. I don't get it. I'm breaking this down. Maybe I think too much. Maybe I should stop thinking so much. Like, I should not listen to what you say. I should just listen to what you say and be done with it. Let it go in one ear and out the other, as they say, right? Only filter what I want and agree. Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh. If you smile, I go, yeah. If you look mad, I go, that's bull crap. If you look sad, I go, man, I'm sorry. I don't even know what you said. I have no idea. Don't care. Thinking about something else, but I go, oh, that's crazy. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Instead of looking you in the eye and going, I'm absorbing what you say. Part of communicating is listening. As much as I talk, believe me when I say I listen. A lot. Not always. Sometimes you'll be talking to me and I'm really not even thinking. I'm not listening. I'm thinking of something else. I'll be honest. I think we all do that. But I love to listen because it's the only way that I can come up with a smart ass remark. How else are you going to be sarcastic if you're not listening to what the person said who's not as smart as you are that's talking? That's the way we talk about things now. That's the way we feel about things. I'm obviously smarter than everybody. My opinion is truth and fact. And then so is yours. And then we butt heads and we're too moronic to go, hey, you know what? What a beautiful country. Isn't it great that we can bitch and complain and whine and gripe? Peacefully protest. And oh, that reminds me, we're going to be talking about something in a little bit. But we have the right to do all that stuff. We have the right to say, you know what? I completely disagree with you. Let's go have a beer. Otan, Oluda. Alada, Oluda. Potato, patata. Let's have a beer in Finland. Finnish. Otuna, Otan, what is it? Otan, Aluda. Alada? I don't know. Whatever. I tried, okay? I tried. I'm not very bilingual. I'm trilingual. I'll try it. Parlez-vous? Mange-moi. Wait. Those are combining two different events. Speaking, well, it's both with tongue. Whatever. All right, today we are talking coincidences. I came across a story, and thank God it's about Democrats and Republicans because it's fact checkers heaven. We're going to have a fact checker Friday finale, fanatic frenzy. That's it. Too much coffee, woke up too early, had too much time on my hands last night, which is not true. I got home from work, had to upload all the video footage, fell asleep in the Chase Lounge with my dog, waiting for the video to upload, because then I got to check it to make sure it all looks good. If not, then I got to delete. No, I don't got to do nothing. It's just live what it is. But I got 5.5. I went to bed at 9:30. I fell asleep on the chair, went to bed about 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 5.5 hours of sleep, well rested, round breasted. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I love it. Time for a sip of coffee. We got a big coincidence story to talk about today. But there's also 40 amazing coincidences that you would never believe actually happened, right? And we're going to talk about a couple, not all 40, but through today, we're going to be talking about some of them. And the first one we're going to do, Mark Twain. It was coincidence or not that Mark Twain's birth and death coincided with Halley's Comet. Samuel Langhorne Clemens, aka Mark Twain. His nom de plume, Mark Twain. See, there's some French for you. Born in 1835. Could you imagine? Born in 1835. Same year Halley's Comet made its first appearance. I did like that band. Well, I did like that. The comet made a second appearance in 1910, the year that Mark Twain died. And it was famously predicted that the two events would coincide. He was quoted as saying, this is well, I guess Mark Twain. I don't know who said it. The Almighty has said, no doubt. Now here are these two unaccountable freaks that they came in together. They must go out together. That's like what bouncers say at the bar when me and Bob walk in. Well, these are two unaccountable freaks. They came in together. They're going out together. Bye-bye. Freak show's over. Coincidence could be, or maybe it's not. There are two different trains of thought on coincidences, right? We got two different ideologies. One, everything's random, right? It just so happened. Other people, everything's pre-planned. It's a larger meaning. There's a bigger meaning behind it. Who knows? You got to believe what you want to believe, and that's it. And you believe what you believe, and you doubt what you doubt, whether it be religion, your partner, your own self. You got to believe in yourself, right? Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. We're at it's already 7:25. I can't believe how fast time flies when you're having fun. And it's Friday. So what's the big plans for the May weekend, Labor Day or Memorial Day coming up? What are we, 2 weeks away? Somewhere to, well, 20, 30. I don't do math in public, but 2 weeks from now will be May 34th. So that will be June 4th-ish, 3rd, maybe. I don't know if it's leap month or whatever they do. Ooh, computer went out. That would be a good thing. Haven't even looked to see what the special national day is yet. Don't really care too much either, but it's all good. So yeah, we got the top 150 places to live in America. And we're not going to go through them all, but maybe your town's on there. Maybe your area's on there. Or maybe you live there and you go, nah, I don't know who paid for that top ranking, but is it a coincidence if you share a birthday with your BFF? Are we connected? Maybe part of it has to do with your beliefs about the prior and afterlife. Some people believe that all energy was created at the same exact time, and in essence, we're all the same age. We're just in a different form, in a different time, in a different dimension or whatever. Pretty deep. If you're Christian and Catholic, obviously you believe that you die, the angels come, and you float your soul. I don't know if you float to heaven, you go to St. Peter. I'm not sure, but you go to heaven or hell, right? If you're atheist and you believe you just die and there's no God, do you believe in afterlife? Because I don't know. There might be a difference. You may not believe in God like Christianity, but you believe that there's another being or another power, or maybe you just believe we're just part of a ecosystem that we just happen to be advanced brains for some reason. Pretty weird. You can't explain the miracle of having what we need on Earth to survive without Kellogg's, without all Gordon Food Service and all that. We could actually survive on planting from the food, the natural plants that have been given to us. Now, I don't know about carrots. How do we come up with carrots? Eventually, at one point, it had to have either been just here for us to eat. We don't know where it came from, or it's organic. Let's find out. Let's Google that. We got a minute. That's what we do here. We educate ourselves. Where did carrots come from? Modern day Iran and Afghanistan, they contain around 32,000 genes, more than humans, of which 2 recessive ones contribute to a buildup of carotenoids, such as alpha and beta carotene. Never related the 2 words. Carrots and carotene. Who invented carrots? They were domesticated in Asia. We had wild carrots, but we domesticated them. In the 10th century, naturally yellow or purple, this root gradually became a common foodstuff in Asian region. Oh, it's a root. It's the root of a. Oh, now that makes sense. See? You learn something new every day. I like carrots, but you got to add 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. So you take the carrots and you slice them up. You got to do real carrots, whole. Get the carrot, take the freaking time, you lazy butt. Shave it down with the potato peeler. I know it works for carrot peeler too. Call it a carrot peeler while you're doing it. Otherwise, you'll hurt its feelings. Don't misgender your damn peeler. If it's a carrot peeler, it can peel potatoes. It's okay. Peel the carrot. Cut it into, 1/4 inch. You got to have a little bit of thickness to it. Make 1/4 inch pieces. Boil. People would argue with this maybe. I'm not sure. This is where you might get unhealthy. Boil for 10 minutes. Then turn on low. Drain. Add butter. About 1 or 2 I use about 1.5 tablespoons of butter and 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. And well, actually, yeah, about 1/8, a little over 1/8, between 1/8 and 1/4, a little bit, You know that old, you can just feel when it's right. A heaping 1/8. Pour it in there, I cover it back up for a little bit. Then you got to take the cover off and let it glaze a little bit. Oh my God, they're good. Anyway, I had no idea they're a root. So now you know. Carrots. Bugs Bunny loved them. They're good for your eyes, apparently. Well, the eyes have it. All right, when we get back, we're going to get into some more coincidences. And what's in between your couch cushions? And we're not going back to that snake story. We're talking money. What do you got hidden in there? You got valuables, a diamond ring. Have you bought your couch? Was your couch used? And there's a diamond ring in there? Or did someone stash money and die? And now you got their couch? Never know. You're going to need some talking about it with this story. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. All right, let's see here. Sorry about that. Nobody's comment. Bill Pittman. Offending fecal assault would be a great name for a punk rock band. Yes, that's for sure. Sorry, I wasn't responding to the comments. I was on a different page here. Bird flu is a scary one for me. COVID wasn't too bad, but influenza always kicks my ass hard. I don't want any of them. Good morning, Marcy. Oh, yeah, by the way, I changed it up a little bit. We're listening to Cardi B, Wet Ass Pussy. Oh, I love it. One, two, three, 4, 5 songs. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Yeah, I was sitting there on Facebook yesterday and I saw someone posted something about coincidences. And I started looking into some crazy coincidences. And I was just like, oh, yeah, we could talk about this tomorrow for sure. Because it's fun stories. I like, we talk about a lot of serious shit too, but you don't want to talk serious all the time. I ain't Fox News. I ain't CNN. CNN's pissing me off even more than Fox News is, though. But you notice they're both the same. They're equally playing dirty pool. You go on Fox News, they're talking about the former attorney of Hillary Clinton is on trial for lying to the FBI. CNN's talking about the insurrection of January 6th. Okay, these, although important, are in the past. We're not dealing with the future. What about the present? What about the future? We're dealing with whether there's UFOs. We're having hearings about UFOs in Congress. What the fuck are you going to do about it if there is a UFO? What the hell are you going to do about it? You ain't got no damn knowledge about it. All right. BRB, don't go nowhere.
'93-'97 Network and Hot 93.97 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. The Jay the Great Show starring Jay the Great. The Honest Truth Show starring 2K Bentley. The Good Times Show starring Princess of All and Cujo Speaks. Ty's Take Today every Saturday afternoon. Marcus Divine every Saturday. The legendary House of Shade. Talk to Me Pretty. Check out the U-Store and be the first to own the newest music. Hot 93.97 and the 93.97 Network. Download the 93.97 Network app today.
We're listening to I Don't Fuck With You from Big Sean. 1 minute left until we get back to the fun. All righty, we are back on a Friday morning. I can't believe it's already Friday. My gosh, time flies when you're having fun. If your life isn't fun, you're doing it wrong. If your job sucks, you're doing it wrong. If your partner sucks, good for you. I mean, you're doing it wrong. Now, life isn't all about all fun and games, but damn, man, there's some pissed off people. Road rage going on like crazy. Every day. Every day. I got emotional last week. We were talking about the Buffalo shooting, the church shooting. It's not even news anymore. It happens so much now. We're at 200 mass shootings almost 20 weeks in. That's 10 a week. Mass shootings. That's not even the biggest problem. The bigger problem, and we won't face it, is inner city killings, inner city robberies. It's what we're teaching our children, but we won't address it, right? We won't. We shy away from it for some reason. Well, we know the reasons: money, ratings on TV, and all that. But we, the people, buy into it. We, the people, lining up outside of a trial to watch a train wreck of a relationship crash and burn into the ground while humiliating both on the way down. You think running through the streets naked when you don't know you're naked is embarrassing, with poop on your butt, dried up and stuck? Try living what Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are going through right now, which they did take her role. They're editing her out of Aquaman 2, I believe. Yeah, like, I understand. I get it. But damn, man. Airing dirty laundry, but we, the people, are the ones who are eating it up. So that's how it goes. We're going to talk about some sex a little bit. It's a big part of our world. It's a big part of who we are. You're married. You love to have sex with your partner. Well, maybe not. But at one point in time, you probably did. People, it's something, it's normal, and we make it taboo, and we need to get past it all. Well, now we know that the guys love going to the strip clubs and seeing some boobies, let's face it, and they get to see young, pretty ladies. Maybe the wife ain't so young and pretty anymore, but that's okay. She's still beautiful, right? That's the catchphrase. You got to say it. Oh, we're all beautiful, honey. When somebody looks at you and says, oh, yeah, we're all beautiful, you're fugly. And it's freaking ugly for those who aren't aware. But it's okay. We're all beautiful to somebody. Your mom thinks you're precious. My mom thinks I'm crazy, okay? Just the way it is. North Hollywood's Star Garden, strip club, gentlemen's club. The nation's, well, see, this is where, again, I read too well. I think my word comprehension is to the level of superiority, because I don't make, a lot of this doesn't, when you read something, we don't read it, or else we would laugh out loud and throw up in our mouth and spit it at people. Striking NoHo, the North Hollywood, striking NoHo strippers vote to unionize. That's the title. That's the headline. The subheadline is North Hollywood Star Garden seeks to be the nation's first unionized strip club since the Lusty Lady. What you meant to say, dum-dum, is North Hollywood's Star Garden seeks to be the nation's second unionized strip club, following the Lusty Lady, who was first in 1997, I believe it was, and then they closed down in 2013. See how things are said to make it appear a certain kind of way. This is not the first. I came in first, right after that first guy. So you came in second. Technically, yeah, I mean, if you want to get down to the nuts and bolts of it, okay, yeah. Okay, enough of the sarcasm. Some people, we don't see protests anymore about it's an accepted part of society now, going to the strip clubs, to where I'm not welcome, nor are women unless they're with men, right? I don't think two lesbian women are allowed in a strip club. I'm not sure, but I believe that to be the case. Now, legally, they might say, oh no, everybody's welcome. But I guarantee you, with every amount of money I've got, that if I walked into any strip club in America, I'm not sitting at a table and getting a drink. I'm not getting in there. Even if I rip my shirt off, I'm not getting in there. Because they'll go, it ain't the top part that bugs us, honey. It's what you're packing underneath. Okay, short stuff. See you later. Sorry about your luck down there. Twerking class heroes deserve equal rights, equal pay, and fair treatment. A labor movement for better working conditions is taking place across the country. And in Los Angeles, no different. For the last 8 weeks, strippers at Star Garden in North Hollywood have been demanding safety and privacy protections, as well as negotiation of fair contracts. Doesn't seem like you should be in 2022 negotiating fair protection, safety, privacy. You're a stripper. You don't need everybody knowing what you do. You just need the tipping men to know, not the tip of the men, not the men's tip. Their tips, money. That's all it is, right? But we're going to get into another part of this story too. I myself, in a previous time, would go to these said strip clubs till I learned a valuable lesson that had nothing to do with me whatsoever. I would go once in a while in the Detroit area, and it was always funny because I'd always have a conversation with one of the strippers, and we would talk and everything, and blah, blah, blah. You never know what's going on. So several years back, I can't remember the year, but it's been a while, in Livonia, Michigan, outside of Detroit, a suburb of Detroit, 2 men were arrested. Their house raided by the FBI. They come in, they swarm in, they get these 2 guys, they arrest them. They're now doing 25 years in prison because they had gone to Ukraine in the ruse of bringing girls back over here, giving them a career in acting and modeling. They go over to Ukraine, they meet the family, They bring them over here. When they get the girls over here, the modeling and acting career is bullcrap. They're stripped of all their identification. They're told the Detroit police are in on this. So if you go to the police, you're not going to get away with it. They drug them. They forced them into working in the local Detroit strip clubs. This is all fact. You want to fact check it? Go ahead. These girls were being forced to give the money they made at the end of the night to these scumbags, right? They were told, we've been to your home. We met your family. If you go to the police, not only are they on the take, allegedly, I'm not saying they were, this is what the girls were told. They were told the Detroit police were on the take. You're not going to be able to, you report to them, they're going to report to us. We know where your family lives. If you say something, they're now in jeopardy. So what are you going to do? You're in a strange land. You have no identification. Now you're scared. Now you're threatened. Now it's not just you. They've been to your home. It's not an idle threat. They've been to your home in Ukraine. Well, the one girl finally was desperate enough to befriend one of the regulars that was always in there. And she said, I need help. And he contacted the right people. And they busted them son of a bitches. Yeah, they did. I've not been back since. I have no qualms with a man that wants to give his money to a nice rack. That's what it's all about. Sexuality, it's okay. Now, if your wife doesn't think it's okay and you're lying to go there, you're in essence cheating, even though it's not maybe having sex. You're doing what you're not supposed to be doing. If your wife says, I really wish you didn't go, but boys will be boys, then you know you can't get away with too much in there, right? Now, if your husband's spending $500 in there, there's extracurricular activity going upon. But a couple $100, no big deal in a bar like that. Freudian slip. So that's my story why I won't go. Well, first of all, I won't be welcomed, but that's why, because if I'm going to give you money for showing me your nice titties, I want you to go spend that on bigger titties. I want you to go spend it on what you want. That's like a service, right? You show me yours, I'll give you my money. Man, I'll go home and spin one off thinking about you. It'd be great. We all win. Yeah. Well, then at the end of the night, after she goes through all that against her will, she was brought to this country thinking, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be a model. Now you're sitting there nude in front of a bunch of men. Not exactly what was in the pamphlet. So quit going. That's what I did. I quit going. So now the strippers have voted. Now back to the story. Now the strippers in Los Angeles have voted to unionize with Strippers United, an organization founded in 2018. The Star Garden workers asked the owners of the strip club to certify their newly formed union with a voluntary recognition agreement. They say, hey, we'll treat you fair. We're in 2022. We shouldn't have to make an agreement to treat me fair. We should make an agreement to pay me for what I'm doing. If we agree to that, then we agreed to it. If I don't like it, I either don't agree to it or I honor my contract, right, and move on later. Well, it's no different than this. You're going to sign a contract. Why would you want to own a place and not treat your employees and give them the knowing, yes, we're going to do this for you. That's what a contract's about. I promise you I'll do this for you if you do this for me. It's as simple as that. It's a freaking agreement. It's a handshake, but we don't trust each other no more. Now we sign. That's what we're talking about. We shouldn't have to be signing an agreement of please offer me fair pay, but I'm going to hold you to it. Sign here. That, you know what I'm saying? It's a different concept. And I am not against unionization. I think that the company, if they're on the up and up, won't have a problem. But there are some negative things. There's some negative connotations to union. There's the notion that the workers don't quite put in the effort because it's harder to fire them. I don't know that to be true or not. I know that I question work ethic overall anyway, right? Everybody's trying to get away, I'm only getting paid this, and that goes back to contract. If you work, let's say you work at McDonald's, and you're sitting behind there going, Chef Gordon makes $1 million, and I'm over here flipping burgers. You agreed to do this for that price. If you don't like it, it's time to start looking for work elsewhere, or maybe you like your job. Maybe you go, no, I Sapphire, that's not fair. I shouldn't have to go elsewhere. Then advance. Managers at fast food joints make probably over $60,000 a year now. I mean, it's a decent living. Now, some might scoff at 60 grand a year. For some, it would be dream come true. So live within your means, right? If you make $60,000 a year, but you have a big house payment and 2 car payments and everything, and you've got just enough money to live, you're not living within your means. But if you have the same house you bought when you were starting out, and you wait for that to gain equity, and you had 1 car and you took care of it, and the second car was bought with cash, and you're not paying, you live within your means. We know people that make 60 grand a year that go on vacations every year. And people go, how the hell do you do it? Well, I personally like to go out to eat a lot. They don't go out to eat a lot. They save their money to do other things. Where I go, for me, I don't need to go on vacation. I'm on vacation. It's called life. Got to work a little bit, but still a vacation. That's the way I do it. I just live my life. Vacation is every day. That's why they say in the South, like especially Northerners, I guess, more than anything else, if you're from the South, you don't appreciate, maybe you don't even like all the warm weather all the time. Could you imagine living in the South and hating the heat? It'd be no difference than living in Minnesota or northern Michigan and hating the snow, or Maine. Could you imagine living in the Northeast and hating snow? And a lot of people do. And again, that boils down to make your life what you want it. Really simple, but ultra complicated, man. But we can do whatever we set out to do. Point blank, period. That's the way it is. So, yep. All right. So the strippers, the stripper strike, right, began at NoHo. NoHo is short for North Hollywood, right? The Star Garden. Sounds like a Chinese or Polynesian restaurant to me. Probably because we used to have Rose Garden. Now it's a different name, but that's our Chinese and I think Polynesian. I can't remember, but it's Chinese and something else, maybe Thai. I can't remember. All right, so Star Garden workers asked the owners to certify the agreement, right? To say, we're unionized, we're trying to get fair pay, we want security, we want pride, not security, they want a secure work environment in a very dangerous work environment. Because there's a thing there, right? Men, not just men, we tend to think, I won't just call men out, we tend to think that if she's naked in front of me, she must want me. And she's being awful nice because she wants your dollars, she wants your tens, she wants your 20s, she wants your hundos, okay? And she's going to be nice as hell to you. Honey, sweetheart, touching the leg. They know what they're doing. It's part of the game. It's okay. But then we think that gives us an entitlement, right? It's the same entitlement mentality when a guy buys dinner, a movie, and drinks all night. At least an old fashioned, right? At least you got to crank one off for me. That's the same concept, right? Mm-hmm. It is. Say it what it is. It's okay. See, that's where we always go, oh, they shouldn't be. Look, guys get a boner, they want it freaking tended to. It's like, come on, girls, we know this. So if it's not tended to, it'll be tended to. Just not by you. Maybe not by anybody other than them, but it'll be tended to. You'll know the difference. The crankiness goes away. The irritability is gone. They're complacent and sleepy. You'd be like, oh, you just jacked off, didn't you? You're all happy and tired now. I see. And then she pulls, but I was gonna. No, you weren't. You only say that because you saw it went limp. So after the stripper strike began, strippers who walked off the job were fired for voicing concerns about safety, wage theft, not even underpay, wage theft, right? There's a difference between I should be making this and I'm making that. Between that and theft. Highway robbery, not theft. So wage theft, exploitation. Strippers have also called the current owners out for alleged anti-Black racist hiring practices that violate the Civil Rights Act. Now, there's another whole concept to wrap your freaking head around, huh? When it comes to hiring the dancers for your clientele, no difference than putting together a Big Mac, 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Well, Burger King, flame broiled, no special sauce, still lettuce, still cheese, pickle, onion, tomato. Tastes different. Same product-ish, kinda. You're trying to sell the product. You want it to look as good as it can be for the people that are your clients. So now, this is interesting. Now we have a strip club whose clientele want to see naked women. Now, if you live, like this is weird for LA though. LA, you'd think the diversity would be a non-issue. If I walked into a strip club in Los Angeles, I would expect to see, and this is no lie, I would expect to see white. I want a blonde, a black-haired girl. You need big boob girl. You need littler boob girl. You need an Asian. You need an African American. I mean, it's LA. I would expect a huge diversity, not targeted, not sitting there going, we're down one. We need a new white girl. We need not that, but we all live together. So it's a little bit surprising for LA, but at the same time, if I'm walking into a strip club in small town Alabama or northern Michigan, rural areas, I'm expecting, let's be honest, white people. Because why? Because a lot more white people live in that area, especially northern Michigan. I can speak on that. It's not exclusive. It's not a racist area. It's just that's not where the ethnicity is, right? The diversity is not there. It's elsewhere. In Detroit, Michigan, I wouldn't be surprised one bit to walk into a nightclub and see white or black women. Wouldn't be surprised one bit. But I'd be shocked in Alabama, in small town Mississippi, to see a black woman dancing at a bar. I'd be like, wow, oh, okay. So bringing that to mind when you own a business, you go, if my clientele doesn't like that sort of thing, what do you do? I'm not talking about what's right or wrong. I'm saying that is a true thought process. You're going to go open a burger and hot dog stand in a neighborhood that's filled with whole food people and vegans? Doesn't matter how good your hot dog is or your burger, nobody's buying it. So you got to know where to go. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a strip club, you would think, wow, yeah, that's an interesting conundrum. That's an interesting thing. Because how do you handle it speaks to who you are. And you're not wrong either way. You're who you are. What's right? People, all right, where are we at? 8:15. All right. We get back. I saw something yesterday, and it's about the abortion issue, and it's about the climate the country's in. And to be quite frank with you, the court, if it overturned Roe versus Wade, is going against the wishes of a lot of people. But we're going to talk about how ignorant we are to the subject. I'll explain. We're going to take a quick break. Well, let me see here. First, we're going to get through some of this music. Actually, you know what? We got a few minutes. Actually, no. We're going to take a quick break. Because Bob will be back, because I always go to break as soon as Bob gets here. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get to the music. It's Friday. We're going to change it up just a smidge. We're only a couple minutes early for break. Get you some coffee, whatever else it might be you want to partake in. And we'll be back momentarily. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Keep it locked. All right. Yeah, we might as well go to break now and then come back at, well, hold on a freaking minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs. Play the Hayloft Saloon and Adam's Apple commercial. 2, 3, 4, 5 songs. That don't go there. We'll try this one here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need this. I gotta fix all this. This is ridiculous going through this every damn time. Whoops. Shift. All right, there's that. There's that. Girl, this is a lot of work. And let's see, do Cujo, My Station. I think it's good. Let's see. Oh, I love this weather. It's going to be 88 degrees today. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I was thinking about going to the Adam's Apple tonight, but tomorrow is going to be my day of working in the yard again. I got the whole front yard done, weeded, gardened. All of the front yard looks beautiful. I just got to edge when I cut the grass again. I didn't edge. I wanted to get the yard done, the weeding and everything. Tomorrow is going to be my out back day. I got to go all the way around the fence. We got a big patio, a big cement pad in the back behind the garage. We got to get the weeds out of there and everything. Because if you just cut them, it just looks like crap. I want to get them out of there. But it's a yearly thing, and it's just a pain in the ass. But another 3 or 4 hours in the yard, maybe, or no, 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6, would be done completely. I was going to do that tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain up here in Detroit. So I might stay home and do that tonight. We'll see. I made a bunch of enemies at the bar the other night, talking smack. Actually, they were talking smack to me. My friend Timmy messages me at 11:30 at night going, you lost my respect. And I go, this is Ed. Ed's the birthday boy who got me pregnant. Oh, I didn't, yeah, that's the bump. I told you it was White Castle, but it's not. Oh, Ernie messaged me. Let's see. Oh. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Whew, sorry about that. Ugh. Oh, interesting. Strippers. I don't know why I'm tired. I got a good night. 5.5 full hours of sleep and I'm tired. Jesus, Mary. Listen. Here I go again. That's a snippet. If you'd listen to me, you'd be on 93.97 Network's app right now, listening and watching this. We got Elon Musk in the news, the Great Lakes, an Oklahoma sheriff who's a fool. A woman ends a police chase with the Florida man move. She whipped her snake out. Mm-hmm. But first, me time. It's so funny to me. We're the first strip club unionized in the nation. Well, after they did it. No, bitch, you're second. Quit. Think about what you're freaking saying. It's amazing. I love it. Oh, you know, we got to figure out what day it is, like what national day it is, you know, like National Love a Fruitcake Day or something like that. Oh, wait, June 4th is June. Pride Month's right around the corner. You can love your fruitcake then. Let's see. Let's try to find out. Everything else is gloom and doom. What day is it? National Day. Woo. Reads my mind, you know. Calendar at a glance. Oh, man. Raspberry Popover Day. Bitch, you got to be high to like that. Raspberry Popover Day. Oh, that was a Prince song. No, that was Raspberry Beret. Oh, yeah. May 20th already. High school's graduating. Let's put a little perspective on things. In November, late November, Oxford, Michigan was one of they joined the club of school shootings 2 seniors who would have been graduating were gunned down and killed. They graduated yesterday, the class. The parents received an encased cap and gown. Part of you wants to hug it and hold it. Part of you wants to smash it on the ground because your kid's never coming back. And the pain for you as a parent is unbearable. It's not fair, but it's even more unfair for the deceased teenager who was killed innocently by a kid who was begging for help. Begging for help. The adults failed him multiple times, not only that day, but he was told by his dad to suck it up. Just because you can put your wiener somewhere doesn't mean you can be a parent. Right, Bob?
You're darn right.
We're on music break.
Yep.
We come back from music break at 8:36.
Okay.
If you need to go do something, we got 11 minutes. Magical coffee cup is a hole in the bottom.
That's right. Look at that.
That's awesome. When you sip on it, you can see the brick behind you.
It's my goofy little world.
So I got to find this lady's interview yesterday, and we're going to talk about this. I mean, what do we got? Red Sneakers Day. Oh, man. Today's National Be a Millionaire Day.
Oh. Well, let's get at it.
Yeah. One step closer, baby. It's payday. I don't know why I'm yelling. I got these in now. I'm going, blah. What was I going to do? What was I going to look up?
This lighting in here is just horrible.
Shoot.
Is that any better?
Oh, yeah. That interview. See if I can find it real quick like. Mm-hmm. 10 people shot, 2 killed in downtown Chicago. Keeping it classy in the streets. I like it. All right, so that ain't gonna work. So let's see. Google. Oh. All right, found it. Rachel O'Leary Carmona speaks about it. We're going to talk about that. We got this song, Coolio, and Olivia Rodrigo.
All right. All right. Well, I do have a few minutes. Let me jump and come right back.
8:36, 8:37.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yep. Okay. Be here. All right. Yeah, I found the story I want to talk about. I don't like the talk, the rhetoric. We got to start learning our place. And that goes for good and bad. That's that know our place to speak out more and know when to shut up. Oh, got a comment. Good morning, D. What time was that? 8:25. So 4 minutes ago. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, see what you're missing? Would you rather have one friend for the rest of your life or never be able to get divorced? That's stupid. Would you rather write greeting cards or obituaries for a living? Oh, man. Greeting cards or obituaries for a living? Are they anonymous or is my name on them? Because good, clever obits would be pretty cool. Would you rather consult a Ouija board or a magic 8-ball for answers to your life questions? Oh. Do your own thing. D says the 8-ball, then the Ouija board for confirmation. No, I'm not tempting fate. I don't know what a Ouija board can or can't do. I'm not going to debate it because I don't know. But I would have to assume with the degradation of society as severely deranged as we are, somebody would have opened the world to hell had the Ouija board really worked. I got to believe people have tried that. So to summon the devil himself to come back and return. So then you're going to force Jesus' hand to come down and fight. Be like a good South Park episode. Now I'm getting hungry. See, it's Friday. I got things to do today. I'm going to be working until 3:30 about. Then I'm going to act like I'm a millionaire all weekend. Oops. I've been rolling that on the bottom the whole time. I'm very bad with my banners. I'm sorry. How unprofessional. That irritates me. Oh, we've got we got to pull the reins in on all this extremism, accusations of extremism. Every single frickin' time I hear Chuck Schumer talk, he speaks about Donald Trump. That's the fucking. Boy, okay, we're not on the air. That's the past, man. And I understand the January 6th insurrection has to be dealt with, and there's legal repercussions. But I'm damn tired of all this. Now we're worried about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. What about all the stuff that we got going on in this world that really matter now, today? Olivia Rodrigo, the top new artist of the year, playing Good for You. Note to self: don't ever play this song again. Kind of sucks. But I'll put another one out of her. She got 3 songs in our system. I'm not a fan, let's just say, of this one. But I ain't mad. It's just your typical, this one sounds like, hey, this sounds like I should do this. Like cookie cutter, like a recipe. How do you make a pop hit? Oh, yeah. You can name that tune 6 different tunes right there. I can hear Blink 182. I hear NSYNC, Shania Twain, Iggy Pop. She. 1 minute and we're done with this bullshit song. I mean, back to our show. And Bob is joining us. He'll be back. Good for her. I ain't mad at her. Not a bad song. It doesn't suck. It's got an upbeat to it. It's growing on me like mold. It just feels like she's crossing a couple different, not that it's a bad thing, but she's crossing genres in this one song. That's kind of interesting. Oh, yes, we are back indeed on a Friday morning. Walking on air. I love it. Cloud 9. Let me turn this down just a little smidge more. There we go. Now we're eating. I don't want to say that. All right. So I'm watching the news yesterday, and I got this one. I watched CNN and I watched Fox News equally. I want perspective of both sides. They're both pitching an angle. All right. They're both politically pitching angles. We know that. So you got to decipher what you get out of the shows, right? I don't get my news during the Tucker Carlson hour because they're giving opinion about a news thing or what's news to them. But you see the targeting of each side and you see how everybody's going back and forth. Well, yesterday I'm watching Fox News and they have a lady on there by the name of Rachel O'Leary Carmona, right? And she is an activist, and this is about the Roe versus Wade and all that. So they're protesting. This is part of the Bands Off Our Bodies rally, May 14th in Washington, D.C. There were tens of thousands of women out there. Let's be clear, many Americans do not understand what the hell is actually happening. They hear Roe versus Wade overturned, abortion's illegal, I'm going to protest. Then the facts are coming out, half-truths and partial facts, and just enough to piss you off. But you're not getting the whole story. So when I ask you, are you for abortion or not? There's 2 answers, yes or no. Are you pro-life You can be pro-life and pro-choice. I feel like I'm pro-life and pro-choice. It's hypocritical in a way, but my belief does not dictate national policy. My belief dictates how I want to educate my young men and women to not get pregnant without planning. It's not foolproof. We're not talking about 100%. Yeah, the rubber breaks. Yeah, the birth control doesn't work. Yeah, there's only one way to prevent it, right? Don't get laid. Correct? Are you there, Bob?
There I am.
Oh, good.
Of course I'm here.
I seen you looking. I just didn't hear you reacting. I didn't know.
No, I didn't hear myself either for a minute.
Oh, can't hear yourself think.
That's a bad thing.
So understand that if I ask you if you're pro-life or if you are you for abortion or not, you might say, and you don't even have to answer it, Bob, if you don't want to. I am against abortion, but I believe that it's not my choice to make it a law.
I agree. No, it's a tough topic, and everybody has their own feelings and views on it. And again, as always, extreme on both sides is what we hear about. You don't hear about people's middle opinion, and it's okay to have an opinion in the middle. It's okay to be both.
True.
Because you define what the parameters are, and that's how you feel about it. That's what you believe. It's just as valid as anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not for abortion. It's not something that certainly you would want to have. But at the same time, there's cases where it probably is the right thing for
Absolutely.
a different set of reasons. Be they health, be they a crime, an assault, whatever. Just like you can't force somebody. You can't force somebody to have the baby. You can't force somebody to have an abortion.
Right.
At least right now. We'll see what develops. But yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to have a reasonable middle ground and understanding of both sides. And I don't know that you can make it a law. I don't think that that's right either.
Well, not when one of the biggest arguments is it's a religious-based view.
Right.
And separation of church and state come into play. You can't separate church and state when it fits what works for you. It's
right.
Across the board, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be, because you can be a Christian. I don't believe we're a Christian-based nation any longer, but we were. But
yeah,
it
when the
doesn't
country
give
was
us
first...
the right to set policy based on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. That's why it's so important, the voting process.
Sure.
And the depth of this topic is not even so much about abortion and stuff, is more the ignorance, and I don't mean that in an offensive way, no knowledge of the fact. Now, I feel that abortion should be legal. I'm not saying I condone it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying it should not be made illegal in America. Mm-hmm. However, if I asked you, at 15 weeks, there's 4 weeks in a month. At 15 weeks, you're 3.5 months pregnant. At 15 weeks, do you agree we should be able to abort a baby?
Not really. I mean,
There
in my heart,
where
no.
The ignorance lies.
And
most of us agree. We do not want babies aborted after 15 weeks. That is the biggest thing people are missing about Roe versus Wade. Basically, Roe versus Wade being reversed amounts basically to Pontius Pilate washing his hands of the crucifixion of Jesus. And I'm not comparing them on the level of importance. I'm comparing it as the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Pontius Pilate going, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm washing my hands of this. The blood is on your hands. With abortion, that's what reversing Roe versus Wade does in essence. It's saying the federal government is washing their hands of this issue. You decide.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's so important to vote locally. We have to understand the voting system. It's not just about, I want to be able to mail in my vote. We vote for people that represent us based on their views. We get what their views are off of television and debates, right?
Yep.
Well, the hot issues are debated. Everybody talks them all through. That's all good and fine. D's popping in. Only if there is a strong medical reason for abortion. I agree. However, I'm not ready to set national policy on that. But if we sit there and talk about Roe versus Wade is basically the federal government washing their hands of the abortion issue, the states can decide. That's why it's so important for your local lawmakers to be voted in knowledgeably.
Mm-hmm.
We worry about president. That's the one. Everybody go vote. President is at stake. They're freaking puppets on the golden strings. The power is in local and state government. So if I told you, hey, if we put it out and painted the picture and said, hey, we're going to adjust this Roe versus Wade. We think that after 15 weeks, it should be illegal to have an abortion unless there's a medical reason. But at 15 weeks, if you were raped, we'd have already known it. There would have been a police report.
Well, that's it. I mean,
so, and maybe not, whatever the reasons. But if somebody comes to you at 16 weeks of pregnancy and says, I want to get an abortion, I was raped, here's the police report and everything, you go, we can't. This is a baby. We can't kill the baby.
Right.
There's another level of human life while they're in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
But
and with all, with all due thought and respect to the victim, there's still that window of time to make that decision.
To do it.
And I can't even begin to speak to it, but it is as far as experience or anything goes, but it would seem as though within that window of time, you could come to a decision, wrestle through emotional stuff enough to make a decision, and, get some help, get whatever you need, and make that choice. And again, that's the pro-choice side. But again, pro-choice up to what point? That's the question.
Yeah.
I mean, people will say that, it's a baby the minute the heart starts beating, and it's not 15 weeks. I think it's more like...
Some say life begins at erection.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to dump our seed anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Men are supposed to dump their seed for the purpose of not a bukkake, not a good facial, to have a kid. Right. Otherwise, you pray it away. That's the Christian belief.
Well,
I'm not sure what they believe in, in Muslim religions and other religions. I don't know. I don't know what their belief is. But exactly, Bob. So
thank you, D. I just think there's reason, within reason on either side. Again, everything that we talk about, my head immediately jumps to the middle ground because there's always reasons
because
on both sides.
You're level-headed.
Well, there's always reasons on both sides and valid reasons on both sides.
Now, here's the thing that really struck me about this. The lady talking, Ms. Carmona, no disrespect to her, she doesn't understand voting system. She claims that she believes, she's one of those that believe that the we're trying to make it harder to vote. I disagree with that. There is a level of responsibility to vote. You need an ID. Mail-in voting is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you like what I'm saying or not. I don't care. Everybody has the right to vote, but there's a level of responsibility. No difference than going to buy a beer. If I walk into a place, I'm 53 years old. I am never mistaken for 20 years old. You can tell. I get carded. I don't squirt breast milk on you. I go about my freaking day. I pull my ID out. I don't even mumble under my breath. I can't believe that. Blah, blah, blah. Make myself look like a dumb bitch. I just pull out my ID, and I don't even make the cliche joke. Oh, thank you. How flattering.
Right.
I just shut my mouth and go, oh, look at there. We're going to communicate in English and human,
And chances are the person asking for the ID doesn't even want to have to be, but they're put in a position where they have to by their employment. And again, everybody's just, quote, playing the game, just do the thing and be done with it.
So the Bands Off Our Bodies abortion rights march in Washington, it was last weekend. Thousands of pro-choice activists come out, descended on Washington, D.C. for a Saturday Bands Off Our Bodies event organized by a coalition of groups, Planned Parenthood, Women's March, but one lady in particular, Rachel Carmona, executive director for the Women's March, warned this will be a quote-unquote summer of rage as she spoke at the event held on the National Mall.
Well, it'll only be if you make it so.
We will be ungovernable until this government starts working for us. Ungovernable, she said, leading the chant, ungovernable, ungovernable, over and over. Okay, let me ask this. How many people in the groups of the coalition that are going to be ungovernable are on any type of government assistance whatsoever? Trade it in, bitch. You're ungovernable.
That's right.
Oh, no, not that ungovernable. I still need my EBT, or I still need my WIC, or I still need my disability. I still need my... No, bitch, you're ungovernable. Okay?
Yep.
Peaceful protest is legal.
And peaceful protest is governable.
You get a cookie and a donut.
Thank you. All right. And a raspberry thing.
And a bellyache. Oh, yeah, because it's raspberry some crap.
Raspberry
day.
turnover or something.
Yeah, what the hell's a raspberry? I know what a raspberry turnover is, but why would you fill it with raspberry when you can fill it with apple?
Or blueberry. Well, they have all different kinds.
Yeah, blueberry.
We're saluting raspberries today, apparently.
Even D gave us the ding ding bell.
I think that was before we were talking about raspberry turnovers, too.
I think so. Maybe both. But so today is a day one. This was this weekend, she said. Today is day one of an uprising to protect abortion rights. It is day one of our feminist future and day one of a summer of rage where we will be ungovernable. We will not stop until the politicians on our side start acting like they're on our side. Let me address this. That's why your local government's so important. You vote for them to speak for you based on what they put out in commercials and debates. So when you get elected, you're making promises, right? Campaign promises that you're supposed to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why it's important to vote. I know my ex-wife voted for Donald Trump for one reason only, because she's a devout Catholic and she believes she's pro-life 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Trump is pro-life. That was her one issue. She didn't care about grab him by the pussycat. She didn't care about anything. And I'm not dogging it. I'm telling you the reality.
Mm-hmm.
She voted based on what they are going to vote on that House floor.
Sure. And it's her reasoning and her decision is as valid as anybody else's. It's educated. That's her number one conviction, and she's that firm on it, then fine.
And another lady, this is very interesting stuff, though, because now another lady, Janice Lewis George, a member of the Council of the District of Columbia, attended the event. She's calling for free abortion procedures and told the crowd that if Roe versus Wade is overturned, working class people and families will die.
And her reasoning is?
I don't know. Overturning
Well, see, that's
Roe,
the thing. You're going to make statements. Give a little reason why if you're going to be that extreme.
Mm-hmm. The reasoning that she's giving is not going to bode knowledgeable well with that side. They're not going to understand this. She says overturning Roe versus Wade will hurt Black, brown, and indigenous communities. Abortion costs money and is unaffordable for so many who cannot travel hundreds or thousands of miles away for abortion care. First of all, nobody has to travel thousands of miles away for 1,400 miles from coast to coast or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly, but no, we're more than that, I know. But.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to outer space for it.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing, though. If you tell a pro-life person, we can't afford it, they're going to go, good. Let's raise the price even higher. So you can't afford. That's their point. They want that baby to live.
Mm-hmm.
But then once the baby's alive, once it's born, what? It's just another notch in the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. Maybe I'm ignorant. Forgive me if I am, but I don't understand how with voting poor affects you to get to the ballot box. They're all in your community. I mean, how many people in this country are homebound to only be able to go a couple of blocks? And I know there are a percentage of
very few, but there are, yeah.
But in those cases, that's what the absentee ballot is for.
Exactly.
It's not, the absentee ballot is, my opinion, is not for the lazy, forgive me. It's for the military member overseas. It's for the traveling business person who's out of town who can't get to their poll in time. There's a level of responsibility that goes with voting.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be open for everybody. And that's what Mrs. Carmona was saying. Miss Carmona was saying, voting has to be available to everybody completely easy. And I disagree. You need an ID to vote. We need to know who you are. You need to be registered legally to vote.
And like any of this stuff, you can get an ID. Go get one. There's a process. Just follow it. These were put in place for a reason. And unless the reasoning has changed so drastically that it needs to be reconsidered, then that's a bigger topic. But just there's rules, guidelines, etc. for reasons. And if you spend if you actually went out and did the thing instead of spending all the time and energy complaining and biatching about it, you'd have it by now. You'd be, you'd be right there. You'd be having what you need. You'd be fine. But no, you got to be heard. You got to be different. You got to be special.
I'm okay with all that. Do it legally. I'm fine with all that. Be heard, be loud, be proud, do it legally. D says you have to look at this with a broader view. It's a divider subject, and they will use subjects like this to damage politicians. They will send it to the states to damage leaders if they don't want in office. Yeah. Well, yeah, because anything now that doesn't fit with the narrative, you're considered trouble, domestic terrorist,
Mm-hmm.
and all this. There are people that believe that the election we just had was fixed. You cannot change their mind. Trump mentioned it again the other day. People believe it, no matter what you say. You can recount the votes 100 times. We're not claiming the count was off. They're claiming fraud.
Mm-hmm.
They're claiming there was too many illegal votes. That's the claim. So they're not claiming that you miscounted. They're claiming overall corruption and fraud. You're
That the
never
voter-
going to get them to back down from that.
Yeah, the people casting the votes were not eligible according to that philosophy.
Right, dead
which is why
people.
those
We've been
votes should
listening
not
to
have been
that
in there in the
forever.
first place, which is how it got corrupted.
Yeah. We've been hearing that forever,
Mhm.
right? The dead people voting and trying to get votes, and now the Democrats, it appears, looks like they're just trying to give the golden carrot, flood the nation with people that rely on you being president and your party to be in office to stay here. Because you can bet your sweet ass in 2024, if Donald Trump wins again, immigration's screwed,
Mhm.
right? That free ride's over.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to still try, but you can bet that will be the number one issue. That wall will go up overnight, like a Taco Bell remodel.
Yeah. And
But again, this lady's saying we're going to be ungovernable. That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. Ungovernable is not good. I don't even know a word for it. It's dangerous.
Don't make that kind of statement unless you want to live with the consequences of your mouth, because you're going to have a whole lot of eyes on you and you're not going to get very far. You're going to be ungovernable until you're governed. So, you can have the opinion, you can voice it, you can, like you say, protest peacefully. Absolutely no problem with that. But being a jerk is not going to get you anywhere. So,
I got to call things out, though. Here we are. And this is not an endorsement of Trump or Republicans or not a knock on anything, but we're going to call things out as we see them. All right? New York City mayor said, let us be clear right now, they are just coming for our liberty, our autonomy, and they will not stop there. This fight is a fight where we all need to be in solidarity, because they will come for equality of marriage, they will come for gay rights, they will come for trans rights. Don't include everything in this to get a whole people whipped up on a foot. People have been fighting this forever. Now, what you're going to talk about racial equality? You're going to talk about, you can't combine them all together just to get people wound up. So now we're going to suffer. History shows us that. I'm not saying she's wrong, but she says she ends her speech with, "We need to stand up and fight back." But wait a minute. When Trump said we're going to go fight like hell, he caused grown men to act differently they would have, and he had not spoken those words.
Yep.
That's what we're being led to believe.
Sure.
But now it's okay if Maxine Waters greet him in the grocery stores, confront him in the restaurants. That's okay. But if a MAGA hat wearing person confronts a Democratic viewer the same way, they go, look at this harassment and bullying by these redneck pickup truck deplorables.
Mm-hmm.
It's hypocritical. People like me who understand English, and when I read something, I comprehend the words, call bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
Yep. Yeah, it's always funny how it's okay for one side to do something until the other side does it. Then they're wrong, Whatever it is. And again,
beloved,
I say note the extremism on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to always fall to that area again. There is no reasonable middle ground with some people. It's either extensive one way or the other, and they're going to force it on you. And here, have a big taste of this,
Elizabeth Warren tweeted, I'm surprised she still uses Twitter. She tweeted, the Constitution is clear about the Supreme Court justices. Now they want to add Supreme Court justices so they can level the playing field. You don't want to level the playing field. You want to change the game rules.
Yep.
So if Joe Biden adds 2 justices to the number and we go to 11, then puts 2 Democratic liberals in there, guess what happens the next time a Republican takes office? We go to 13.
Right.
Before you know it, we got 60 Supreme Court judges that were paying $4 million a year or whatever to.
Right.
For what? We didn't get our way, right? When Donald Trump won, not my president. When Joe Biden won, not our guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, suck.
it's okay to be frustrated and disappointed and even angry that your side, because you took a side, didn't win.
Thank you. Right there's the problem.
But being a sore loser to me equals just being a loser, period.
Being on either side of it, yeah.
You can't get anything done. You're standing in the way of progress just to be heard, just so your mouth can be out there throwing your point of view around instead of getting down to business. Sorry, have a hard time with that.
Tired of the extremism on both sides.
Totally.
You know.
And the mighty middle needs to come in and kick some butt on both sides.
I just don't understand the whole relation to how it's affecting. Well, first of all, when it comes to abortion, that's a whole nother topic than voting, because everybody pretty much agrees on the right to vote, but not everybody agrees on the right to abortion. Right. So there's a big difference in it there, although it's still being it's still being said that it affects the poor and the ethnic communities more. I don't know how.
Well, they're just talking, I guess they're talking about financial, even if there's access, that what it costs. I mean, does the government cover abortions under, Medicaid and things like that? Whereas
I would think abortion being paid by the taxpayers is just as ludicrous as the taxpayers paying for my boobs and ass.
Right.
You want boobs? Buy them.
Well, so then the claim of hurting the minority groups comes down to money. They're saying, well, the rich people can pay for it, but we can't. But we should have as much right to it as.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But in America, it's not all level playing field. It's not the concept of this country.
Right. That's what socialism is.
First of all, through this whole thing we're talking, if you're in a situation where medically the doctor tells you the best thing you can do is to save yourself and abort this baby, then your insurance, then your insurance can cover it.
Sure.
It's a medical procedure to save your life. It's no different than removing a brain tumor at that point.
Right.
It's an unfortunate thing, but the existing life matters more. What do? Take the chance on the mother dying, and then the baby comes out stillborn, and now you've lost. So I get it.
Yeah, I do too.
But to sit there and say the reasoning is because everybody should be able to afford it, that's going to fall on deaf ears. We're not talking about the right to vote where there is responsibility, but damn, there's no way in the world that we can reach these small percentage of communities that if they don't want to, if they really just have to get to the ballot box, can't we pick them up and take them?
Well, there's enough activism going on for all of the candidates that they do offer people that will come and get you. You hear it as it gets closer to campaign time. We need your vote. If you can't get there, we'll come get you. You don't have an excuse. We will come and get you. We'll run a shuttle bus. We'll individually do it. A friend of a friend will help you, whatever. I mean, that's the only real excuse, I think, is where you are physically unable to go to a place to do it. And again, you need to have identification to prove who you are. And as long as you can do that, that's what the absentee ballot was for, like you said. The absentee ballot wasn't made for convenience. It was made for access in situations where access could not be reasonably achieved. And I'm all for that. Absentee ballots are great, but don't abuse it. And that's where we're getting now.
And my whole point of this is I don't like the ungovernable. You can't, because now what happens when, no different than in Iowa, that Christian group was given access to public schools after school programming for children, and the House of Satan joined in, and you think it's a lie. It's not. It's true. So now there's a satanic club in an Iowa elementary school for after-school projects because you cannot allow Christian and not another religion.
Well, and as separation of church and state, if it's public schools, then...
But they allowed one, they got to allow them all.
Right, well, exactly. And should you allow any of them? Any religious group? I mean, if it's a paid for by the community and the government, I mean, that's where it gets really gray too, because if it's tax dollars that everyone's putting in, then they want access to, and that's fine, but there has to be reasonable rules just to keep everything running, for everybody's best interest. Everybody's looking out for their own interest and what they want, and they're not looking at the best interest. And
Now the one lady goes on to say, I think it was Sheila Katz, CEO, National Council of Jewish Women, speaking at the event outside the Capitol building. This was in September 29th of 2021. She said, for too long, this country has allowed a small but loud group from the religious right to dominate the narrative around abortion and religion, claiming that abortion access is a violation of religious freedom. So we ask them, whose religious freedom are you trying to protect? Not mine. Judaism not only permits abortion, but requires it when the life of the pregnant person is at risk. Okay, again though, let's break this down for the people, a little bit of social studies here for you. We vote for senators and congressmen, representatives locally and state and nationally. Some of them have an office in Detroit, Michigan area, or your hometown, and they have an office in Washington, D.C. We vote them, again, based on their ideologies. When a president nominates a Supreme Court nominee, we just watched it happen. Many of us has watched it several times over the past 5-10 years. They vote on it, right? They have to vote on whether they accept this nominee. So you voted for people to represent your views, and now they're voting based on their views, which are in line with your views.
Right.
So to say this country has allowed a small but loud group from the religious right to dominate the narrative is incorrect. You've done stupid voting. It's your fault. You're the one who doesn't pay attention to anything except for the presidential election and then votes for the one who doesn't call women bitches. Congratulations. You did it.
Now go back and rethink it for next time.
Yeah. So to sit there, the lady yesterday, Miss Carmona, she said, and she's an intelligent woman. I'm not mad at her one bit. I'm not dogging her. I'm just disagreeing with her view. I'm not saying she's stupid. She represented herself well. She's going to be back on that show again that contradicts their point of view. So you know she did good.
Right.
But to say that it's been we vote these people in. You don't I don't know, Debbie Dingle, I don't know. My house, the people in charge that I go to if I have a problem, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. It might be Rashida Tlaib. It might be Debbie Dingle. I don't know. So I'm an educated voter, but I know more than just voting any old damn thing.
Right.
But so there, the system is in place. Again, the country isn't the problem, the people are. To say that we're systemically racist, we, the people, the country spelled it out. All men are created equal. We are the ones who decided, well, white men. Well, rich white men are even more equal. We decided that.
Mm-hmm.
We decided the value of the dollar. We put the value of the dollar higher than the life of our mother. You think I'm wrong? How many can you just type in insurance murders or something like that? How many people killed their mother for insurance? A lot more than you would suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that. We're late. We're going to break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. All right. Woo. D says, assuming there is no fraud in the elections is a mistake. People don't stay in office that have horribly run cities without a level of fraud. To assume it does not happen is closing the door to reality. I don't disagree. I would think it's definitely, anything's possible. I mean, we've seen in the world what the reality of life is. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now that we're seeing the amount of money at stake and the lengths that everyone up there is doing to stay in power, to get in power.
Mm-hmm.
D says racism is another divider and it's used to discredit leaders. They don't actually care about racism. I agree. If you look, the policies that have been written by Joe Biden over the decades have been unfavorable to the minority communities, but yet now it's a hot issue to just love the old guy.
Well, he's everybody's buddy now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to take a quick break. I'm going to go off here. We'll be back. Let me wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. We got too many songs. Delete. Take this, add it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delete. Delete. Move down. We come back at 9:32.
All right.
9:32. Be right back, D. We're not going anywhere. I got to go to the ladies' room.
I need more coffee. See you in a few.
All right. Oh, I'm ready to come back already. I don't know if you can hear me, Bob, but 9:28. I'm moved decide to change the song because I got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, yeah. Still pretty overcast, though. They said it was supposed to be nice and sunny, but I think they're full of beans. Still early, though. It's only 9:30. Oh, damn it. See, edit. Delete that, and that. Delete. Y'all. One and a half minutes till showtime. I managed not to make the makeup-y today at all yet. One little tiny spot, baby. I think we're out of baby wipes or the Clorox wipes. Two weeks, I got an appointment to get my shit looked at. Someone knocking? Something to build an addition over there or something. They heading out of the building? Oh. Oh boy, 20 seconds. Here we go. All right, we're back a few minutes early. I told you guys 9:30, but you know what? I got a lot to talk about. So cut a song to hear me talk. We're talking coincidences, right? Political adversaries, these are interesting things here. Political adversaries Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died within hours of each other on the 4th of July. The relationship with them took quite a few twists and turns. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams began as allies, then gradually grew into adversaries as their politics divided them. The last two surviving members of the American revolutionaries from the British Empire eventually reconciled and corresponded by letter, no texting and email back then, in their final years. They both died within hours of one another on the same day in 1826, the 4th of July. Have a history teacher explain this one to you. Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John F. Kennedy was elected to Congress in 1946, 100 years later. Abraham Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John F. Kennedy, 100 years later, elected president in 1960. Both particularly concerned with civil rights. Both wives lost a child while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot in the head. But now it gets even weirder. Lincoln's secretary was named Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln. Both men were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners, both named Johnson. Andrew Johnson succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln. Oh, wait. So John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated Kennedy, was born in 1939. Both names are composed of 15 letters. Both assassins were known by their full 3 names. Coincidence after coincidence. Now hang on to your seat. Lincoln was shot at the theater named Ford Theater. Kennedy was shot in a car called Lincoln, made by Ford. Booth and Oswald were assassinated before their trials. Here's a kicker. A week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe. And Lincoln was shot in a theater, and the assassin ran to a warehouse. Kennedy was shot from a warehouse, and the assassin ran to a theater. Crazy talk. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Man, I know that's what all the guys are thinking, but she's going, no, I could still talk. I just want to make you feel better. You know what else? A meteor. Okay, National Geographic reports that your odds of being killed by a meteor are 1 in 1.6 million. So I would say that it's pretty rare. The chances are very small that a small meteor that had been flying through space for more than 4.5 billion years without ever hitting a target would hit the home of a family with the last name of Comet. Bizarre case of cosmic synchronicity. One family in France, the Comet family, owns their own meteor rock. No one was hurt. Did you know it was just a coincidence? We just talked about him. John Wilkes Booth, assassin Abraham Lincoln. Did you know that John Wilkes Booth's brother saved Abraham Lincoln's son from death? They had a coincidental family connection, the two of them. Long before John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln on that fateful day in April of 1865, John Wilkes Booth's brother Edwin, a somewhat famous stage actor who supported the Union during the Civil War, while at a train station in New Jersey, Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, leaned up against the stopped train, nearly falling onto the tracks as it started up again. Edwin Booth grabbed him by the collar and saved him just in time. The younger Lincoln recognized his hero and wrote about the incident, but it was not until years later that Edwin Booth found out who he had saved. Now, don't know that he wouldn't have done the same thing had he, But interesting. Let's see here. Let's change that up a little. All right, we're back on track here. It is a coincidence that Robert Todd Lincoln witnessed 3 presidential assassinations. Imagine that. It'd be rare to be present for the death of any president. He was in some way present for not 1, not 2, but 3 of them. He was not there at the theater during his father's shooting. He was rushed to his deathbed and sat by his side until his dad passed away. He later was an eyewitness to the killing of President James Garfield. In 1901, Lincoln was nearby Buffalo at the invitation of President William McKinley when he was fatally shot. So I would dare say, I don't want Robert Todd Lincoln anywhere near me. Oh, Lord. Oh, an engaged couple finds out their parents almost got married. I don't care. I'll still put it in her. That's what he was saying. He's like, I don't care. I'll still put it in her. She's thinking, I don't care. He's got money. He can put it in me. Oh, no, no birthday song. Whew, stopped it in the nick of time. Uh-oh. We lost connection with the camera. That ain't good. I'm still here. Yeah, there we go. What the hell's going on? Freaky Friday. That's what I get. Is it a coincidence or is it meant to be? I start talking about all this crazy stuff. All of a sudden, the camera cuts off. Oh, snap. Bob's completely gone. Don't know what happened to Bob. Poor guy. Maybe I should re-invite him to say, so he can say his goodbyes. Is it a coincidence? I think not. Bob, I'm going to send you another invite to see what happens. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. What a crazy, I mean, coincidences, again, some people, it's meant to be, it's a sign from above. Other people just go, no, you just got lucky that time or whatever, or unlucky. One woman survived the Titanic, the Britannic, and the Olympic shipwrecks. One lady, Violet Jessup, was a nurse and ocean liner stewardess who earned the nickname Miss Unsinkable by surviving, both accidents, the Titanic in 1912 and its sister ship, the HMHS Britannic, which met the same fate in 1916. She was also on board the third boat, the Olympic, when it hit a warship, but the Olympic stayed afloat. Be like, if you were the captain, we would think you were drunk. How about this one? Talk about irony. Can't get away from the problems. The first and last battles of the Civil War were fought right next to the same man's property in different towns. The Civil War breaks out in 1861 with the First Battle of Bull Run. Bull Run references the name of a stream that wound its way through the farm of a 46-year-old grocer named Wilmer McLean in Manassas, Virginia. After the devastation of the battle, McLean left to find safety in a new home with his wife in Appomattox, Virginia. And for 4 years, he was safe as the bloody war overtook the nation. In 1865, the war came to a close when Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses Grant at the Appomattox courthouse, just steps away from McLean's new property. He's like, I can't get away from this crap. Little did he know, it was history being made, but you don't know history's being made when you're in the middle of it. Take that little bit of advice and put it in your front pocket. That little tiny pocket in your jeans that nothing fits except for your dime bag, but it's legal in Michigan so you can carry it in your front pocket. Use that pocket. Put it in there. Very coincidental. And that's true though, people. We make history every day and memories, but we don't realize it. We're in the middle of it. So very important to put that into perspective, making other people's hindsight our forevision. and to be able to see what we want and how understanding, like as a young person, we cannot understand that the elderly people are just trying to give us knowledge, but we know education is the best teacher. Well, if we could only learn those lessons, right? If you could come back and tell yourself one thing, what would it be? Well, let's take that thought process and learn from others that way. It can be done. Believe it. Believe it. So the first and last soldiers killed in World War I are coincidentally buried right next to one another. By the time World War I, we talk about World War II, by the time World War I came to an end, it had claimed, hello again.
Hey, sorry about that.
But it's okay. By the time World War I came to an end, it had claimed an estimated 1 million British lives. Without any planning, the first recorded casualty of the war, 17-year-old John Parr. And the last recorded casualty, 30-year-old George Edwin Ellison, have graves that face one another 15 feet apart in the St. Sapphire'S Military Cemetery without planning. You missed all the good stuff.
Oh, I know. Major system meltdown here. It's because summer's coming, so now the computer decided to overheat. You know.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen. One man missed 2 Malaysian air flights. Both crashed.
Wow. That's weird.
Way back in the day in the 80s, maybe early 90s, my brother was on, he was an in-flight refueler, and he was assigned to the KC-135s. And he had gotten off of one of the flights, and it crashed.
Amazing.
And it was a rogue pilot who had a reputation of being Top Gun before Top Gun. So in 2014, there's 2 tragic plane crashes involving Malaysian air flights. The first was shot down over Ukraine. The second disappeared without a trace somewhere over the Indian Ocean, which they're calling the greatest aviation mystery of all time.
That's like a Bermuda Triangle thing.
Mm-hmm. And beyond the fact that one airline involved in both incidents in a short time span, another striking coincidence is that Dutch cyclist Martin de Jong was scheduled to take both flights, but cheated death by bumping his ticket at the 11th hour when cheaper options became available. I mean, it's not even to say, well, at least I paid more, but it was worth it. You got a deal,
right.
And
pretty wild. I don't know. How do you... There's got to be a higher power involved when there's stuff like that going on. I mean, not so much the rogue pilot thing, but I mean, to be able to, like you said, miss both flights that both crashed, that's just...
Like I have a purpose here I haven't filled yet.
That's right.
It would be hard to think it's just coincidence. Once, okay, but twice you got to start going,
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So there's a 10-year-old girl named Laura Buxton who releases a red balloon into the air. She writes on the balloon, "Please return to Laura Buxton."
Okay.
Okay? Along with her address. She then released it into the wind. The balloon traveled 140 miles south, landing in the yard of another 10-year-old girl named Laura Buxton.
Get out.
So Laura Buxton goes, I got to meet me.
I gotta meet
So they get in touch. explain the coincidence, they decide to meet. And they discover a whole bunch of uncanny similarities.
Well, like, are they related somehow?
They dress alike. They both had 3-year-old chocolate lab dogs, a gray rabbit, a guinea pig,
Come on.
and both brought the guinea pig to the meeting unplanned.
That's pretty hard to believe.
Be like, what? No way. That's crazy. You brought the, like on Step Brothers when they end up being, did we just become best friends? Oh, Lordy, Lordy.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. Now, this is the kind of luck I would like. Joan Ginther scores more than $20 million in 4 scratch-off lottery tickets. That would be something. Just to win it once would be hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Before we get all wound and unraveled here, we need birthdays and word of the day. Not
got
right
birthdays.
away, but we need to get to them.
Yeah, because we're
You
going
do
to fall
have
off
birthdays?
schedule otherwise, like we always do.
All right, so birthdays.
Birthdays. Got 'em. Cher's birthday is today. Cher is 76 years old today.
Cher? Oh.
Cher.
If you
She looks
share a
great.
birthday
I don't know
with
how much it
Cher,
cost
consider
her.
yourself lucky.
She looks terrific in these pictures, but I wonder how much it cost her. Not that she doesn't
Well, I was
have
going to say she got a hell of a surgeon, I'm sure.
a hell of a surgeon and a hell of a lot of money. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You go, girl. All
Beautiful
good.
combination.
That's right. It's a wonderful thing. Ted Allen from the Food Network is 57. You know all those shows, the Chopped Kitchen and all that kind of thing.
No, not
Ted's
me.
one of the main dudes there. 57 years old. We got who else we got here? Further down. Rapper Busta Rhymes is 50 today.
Oh.
Busta Rhymes is 50. OMG.
ODB. I mean, OMG.
OMG, man. Come on. Good for
I
him.
think it
But
was,
what does that say for the rest of us?
yeah. I say to Busta, respect your elders.
That's right.
I'm 53.
That's
Happy
right.
50th, though.
Singer Rachel Platten turns 41. Actor David Proval from The Sopranos is 80 today. I'm not a Sopranos person. I'm not familiar, but I know that it's a very popular.
No idea. I never watched a second of it.
See, I never have either, but I know so many people that have. And
Oh, yeah. I heard it was wonderful.
yeah, I did too. I just never got started, and so I never got into it.
Pretty offended that they chose an Italian to be the mobster.
For real. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got I don't know who actor Dean Butler is. He's from Little House on the Prairie way back in the day. He's 66. He must have been one of the kids or something.
I was going to say, if he's 56, he was one of the babies, man.
66. He must have been a kid in the series. Jane Weedland of the Go-Go's is 64 today because we got the birthday beat.
Wow, 64.
64. Actor Bronson Pinchot is 63. Remember him from shoot, what was that show? I forget the name of
Remington
it.
Steele.
What's that?
Remington Steele,
Remington Steele. Okay.
right?
Yeah, I thought there was a TV show he was in too. A TV
That was
series.
Remington Steele.
Well, okay. I was thinking of
And then
something
he was
else.
also James Bond, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of the wrong guy then. Never mind.
Pierce Brosnan.
Hey, thank
Who
you.
did you say?
Bronson Pinchot.
Oh, I'm thinking of Pierce Bronson.
Yeah, this was the guy that was in the show
Yes.
where the two were best
Not
friends.
Bosom buddies.
Bosom buddies, yeah.
No, it wasn't bosom
But
buddies.
it wasn't that. But it was like that was the
He was
spinoff of the
bulky.
other.
He was bulky.
Yes.
Yes, I remember him. He was bulky, and the
Bulky.
other guy had the curly hair.
Yep.
What was that?
I wish I could think of it. I can't think of the name of it, but it was on for years and years. It was a hysterical show.
Okay, wait. You keep going birthdays.
Okay.
And
Well,
I'll-
if you're old enough or familiar enough with the Cowsills, Susan Cowsill Singer is 53 today, or 63 rather. Excuse me.
Oh, all right.
Excuse me. John Billingsley of True Blood is 62. Singer Nick
Perfect
Hayward.
Strangers.
Thank you. Thank you
Perfect
very much.
Strangers. Yeah.
Yes. Singer Nick Hayward of Haircut 100 is 61 today.
Good Lord.
Haircut 100, that's
All right.
some good tunage. Actor Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life, 56
Oh,
today.
did she play the blonde?
No. She was what was her name in the show? I have no memory anymore.
I'm not sure. I'm not Googling that one because I don't care.
No. One of the girls in the group there. Who else have we got? Let's do anniversary birthdays, heavenly birthdays. The founder of Wells Fargo, William Fargo, anniversary birthday today. Jimmy Stewart, the actor, his birthday would have been today. And former NASCAR driver Tony Stewart is 51. He's still with us, which is good. William Hewlett, the co-founder of Hewlett-Packard, would have had a birthday today. Ton of birthdays today.
Yeah, it seems like it.
There's a whole kind of them. That's about it for the list, though, and that's a good thing. That was plenty. Anything else that you can come up with, think of, see?
No, but Finnair Flight 666 departed from Copenhagen and landed in Helsinki on Friday the 13th. Helsinki is HEL airport code. So Flight 666 flew into hell on Friday the 13th.
Wow.
That's all I got. True story.
That is another very weird kind of coincidence.
How about two sets of identical twins who were separated at birth found each other?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The same time, the same day, the same...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Amy Maiden and Nick Wheeler sifting through old family photos in anticipation of their upcoming wedding to discover they had unknowingly taken their first picture together as children 11 years before they even met. They grew
No
up over
way.
300 miles apart in opposite corners of England. They had been on a beach vacation to Amy's hometown. They snapped a picture. Their family was just feet behind Nick and his family playing in the sand. That's crazy.
No way.
Yeah, that's crazy. We're all
That's
connected
crazy.
by one or two people or something. They say we're all connected by 5 people or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
So, could be. Do you have a word of the day?
Word of the day. There are so many to choose from. Let's just go with this one because it's the one that came up first. It's a nice one. It's a recreational weekend kind of activity word. Calcographer.
Recreational. What is
Well,
that?
not that kind of recreation, but I mean, you could do that kind of recreation while you're doing this kind of recreation. A calcographer is someone who draws with crayons or pastels. So if you're feeling artsy and you want to do a little coloring while you're doing your recreationals, it's a great thing for the weekend. Very relaxing. You might fall asleep in the middle of it all.
I was going to say, sounds like a nap time to me.
It's definitely the ingredients are there.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Sticking true to the timing scheduling. That does it for us.
Yeah. That means the weekend's
Okay.
here.
Well, the weekend's here. It's going to be nice out today. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I might change my plans because it's going to be rainy tomorrow. So I might
Right.
do my yard work this evening. We'll see.
Yard work for me is happening in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that pool open yet?
No, but it's going to be real soon. The
Yeah,
debate about replacing the tiles is almost done. If it's not happening very shortly, it's not happening until fall.
Why do today what you can put off until next year?
That's kind of what we're talking about at this point.
Yeah. All right, that does it for us. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, wherever you were listening. And remember, Opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not a word. It's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And in a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word and a friendly smile could do to impact someone's day, maybe even change their life forever. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday morning. I'm Sapphire Pates.
I'm just Bob.
We're out of here. Until Monday. Bye-bye. All right. There's that. Cool.
Cool.
All right. We're out of here. Thanks for watching. If you're going to be checking us out in a little bit, thanks for watching when you get the chance. And we will talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.